Tired of the negativity? Looking for a shot of optimism? Well, I have an inspiring story to make you smile right after this. This episode of Misfits and Crackpots is brought to you by the Well-Crafted Story Workshop. Struggling to connect with your audience and attract new clients? Transform your speaking skills at the Well-Crafted Story Workshop with Coach Jimmy Hayes Nelson and yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell. In just 2 days, master the art of crafting compelling speeches that convert listeners into clients. Whether in-person or virtual, you'll get personalized attention in an intimate group, learning not just from expert coaches, but from fellow entrepreneurs. Don't let another opportunity slip away. Get your free story blueprint today at wellcraftedstoryworkshop.com and turn your story into your most powerful business tool. Your success starts here. Visit wellcraftedstoryworkshop.com now. You're just a well-crafted story away from 7 figures. Hello there, my friend, and welcome to Misfits and Crackpots. Short, inspiring stories for busy people. I'm Dr. Danny Brissell, and this is a podcast for those interested in extraordinary stories about ordinary people and companies. Consider it your dose of positivity and inspiration for the week. Mary Ann Williamson said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?" This week's success strategy: believe. Everyone struggles. Everyone at some point doubts their abilities. Nowhere is doubt more prevalent than with the so-called struggling artist. One such Italian artist penned a letter to his buddy Giovanni that read, "I've already grown a goiter from this torture, hunched up here like a cat in Lombardy or anywhere else where the stagnant water's poison. My stomach's squashed under my chin, my beard's pointing at heaven, my brain's crushed in a casket, my breast twists like a harpy's, my brush above me all the time dribbles paint so my face makes a fine floor for droppings. My haunches are grinding into my guts, my poor ass strains to work as a counterweight. Every gesture I make is blind and aimless. My skin hangs loose below me. My spine's all knotted from folding over itself. I'm bent taut as a Syrian bow. Because I'm stuck like this, my thoughts are crazy, perfidious tripe. Anyone shoots badly through a crooked blowpipe. My painting is dead. Defend it for me, Giovanni. Protect my honor. I am not in the right place. I am not a painter." The author of this letter mailed it to his friend Giovanni di Pistoia in 1509. It is unknown how Giovanni responded to his friend's travails, but it is probably not a stretch to imagine he encouraged his friend to continue with his work. The author's name was Michelangelo. As he wrote that letter to his friend, the renowned sculptor would probably never know that most of the world would remember him for that painting he was struggling with in the vault of the Sistine Chapel at the Vatican. See, sometimes people need others to believe in them before they believe in themselves. Centuries later, another Italian faced his own adversities. In a movie version of his life, his name was Amos. Partially blind from birth, he was diagnosed with congenital glaucoma, a condition that would define, but not confine, his journey as an artist. His childhood was steeped in the rich musical traditions of Italy, a land where opera and classical music are as vital as the air one breathes. Despite the visual world fading from his grasp, Amos found solace and expression in music. His family, recognizing the flicker of talent within him, nurtured this passion, providing him with piano lessons that became his gateway to a universe where he could see himself not as a boy with limitations, but as an artist with boundless potential. As Amos grew, however, so too did the seeds of self-doubt. The path of a musician, especially one facing the added complexities of visual impairment, seemed fraught with uncertainty. In a society that often measures success by conventional yardsticks, the prospect of pursuing music as a livelihood appeared as distant as the stars that twinkled unseen above him. This doubt, coupled with his understanding of the world's realities, led Amos to make a decision that would take him far from the concert halls and opera houses he dreamed of to the corridors of academia and into the study of law. Yes, law. For even the most fervent dreams often bow to the pragmatism of life's demands. Law school represented a safer, more secure future, a nod to the practicalities of life that his condition imposed upon him. And so it seemed the path for Amos was set, a future written in the statutes of law rather than the staves of musical scores. But fate has a way of composing its own symphonies. It is important to note that Amos had not abandoned his music. To help finance his law degree, he sang at piano bars and nightclubs. After obtaining his degree, he practiced law as a state-appointed attorney for a year before deciding to pursue his passion for music. The turning point came when a demo tape of Amos singing, created almost as an afterthought, found its way into the hands of famed Italian blues artist Zucchero Fornaciari. Zucchero had composed Miserere, a modern yet operatic musical piece that serves as a sinner's plea for divine forgiveness. To enhance its timeless appeal as a prayer for mercy, Zucchero envisioned a classical tenor to accompany his blues vocals. So, he set out to recruit the talents of the world's most famous living operatic tenor at the time, Luciano Pavarotti. To attract Pavarotti to the project, he provided Amos's tape. When Pavarotti heard the recording, he found himself moved by the depth and purity of the voice. He then made a startling proclamation. It was this young man, Amos, not he, who should sing the song to the world. It was an endorsement that shattered the silence of obscurity, propelling Amos into the limelight. Touring with Zucchero, Amos captivated audiences far and wide, his voice a revelation. His debut album was a triumph, bringing him international fame. And if Amos's story sounds unbelievable, the role he would play in another artist's launch is possibly even more remarkable. The artist was just a kid. That's how the famous music producer referred to him. The kid was indeed a kid, a student in Los Angeles at a high school where students received an arts conservatoire-style education. He possessed a deep, rich voice, unique for his age, and his initial aspirations leaned more towards acting than singing. It was the belief of his music teacher, coupled with the kid's own burgeoning confidence in his vocal talent, that set him on an unexpected trajectory. When the music producer heard him on a CD, he arranged for the kid to perform at the California governor's inauguration. Then, 2 months later, he reached out to the kid in a bind. Amos, now a world-renowned Italian tenor, could not attend the Grammy Awards that night. Amos was supposed to perform a duet. The producer told the kid he urgently needed him to perform as a stand-in. Though nervous, the kid seized the opportunity and agreed. His performance, initially born from a place of doubt and nervousness, ultimately showcased his incredible talent. The kid was nothing short of mesmerizing. It was a moment of transformation that would not only change his life, but also forge an indelible link between him and Amos. The paths of Michelangelo, Amos, and the kid, though distinct, were shaped by moments of serendipity, where opportunity and talent collided with the force of destiny. While all had doubts about their abilities, others lifted them up to help them realize their dreams. Missing the Grammys did not hurt Amos's career. He could have been a blind kid from Tuscany that became a lawyer, and the world would probably never know his story. Instead, a movie was made about his life, where he substituted his real-life son's name Amos for his own, Andrea Bocelli. Besides his success as an operatic tenor, he has enjoyed international success as a crossover performer, bringing classical music to the pop charts. He sold over 75 million records worldwide and earned numerous honors, from being named a Grand Officer of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic to receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His record producer, David Foster, who has worked with some of the most famous musicians of the last 75 years, from Barbra Streisand to Whitney Houston, has often described Bocelli's voice as the most beautiful in the world. That is even more reason the kids should be touched at the producer's confidence in his fill-in duties at the Grammys. The last-minute replacement on the duet for Amos that night was a kid called Josh Groban. This young man comes on stage almost going backwards. He was so scared, his singing partner Celine Dion later said. He took the microphone, and when he started to sing, this kid was incredible. It was a day that changed his life, as talk show host Rosie O'Donnell asked him to appear on her show the following week. That led to a recurring role on the television show Ally McBeal. Since then, Groban has sold millions of albums, had a number of hit singles, and performed all over the world, including at the closing ceremonies of the Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. He also earned a number of accolades, including a Grammy Award and an Academy Award nomination for his song from the film The Polar Express. The song, appropriately, was entitled Believe. See, friend, inspiration is all around us. You just have to look for it. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another inspiring story about misfits and crackpots. Misfits and Crackpots is a production of Success Media, produced by Terrence Wishner. Sound effects by Alessandro Lucati, courtesy of Pixabay. Thank you for tuning in. If you love today's story, there's so much more to explore in the book Misfits and Crackpots by yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell. Grab your copy now on Amazon and dive deeper into the extraordinary lives of those who dared to change the world. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with fellow misfits who love inspiring stories. See you next time.